Dom, I guess not the result we wanted on our first game of the season. Maybe pleased with the fight we showed in that second half there, but gutting, I suppose, for them to get the winner, as it turned out so soon after.
Yeah, I mean, the emotions are still running high. I'm not disappointed with them, I'm disappointed for them because they did show some really good character, but you can't go to any game in this division and start like we started in certain areas of the pitch, just with lethargic, we didn't look at the same pace as them in the first 20 minutes and we found ourselves behind. So we give ourselves a bit of an uphill task. But I've got to say, we responded fantastically at half time. I thought the whole of the team as an entity, second half, were functioning superbly well. I think they only went in our box 2 or 3 times, but they've scored the winning goal doing that. And that has been an Achilles heel before for us. And I'm sure as Egg's going to make sure it's not going to be this season, because like I said, there's some of that stuff today was excellent and I was really pleased with. And whilst the loss is obviously hurting, you've got to take the rough move. The best golf round sometimes starts with a bogey. It's the first time we've started the season since I've been here and not taken something from the game, but we can take real positives, and that 7 lads made their debut today. So we're a new group, and I think those are the 300 or so who travelled will be really pleased with the way we came back into the game, and probably be as perplexed as I am as to how we didn't take something from it.
A tale of 2 halves in performance, probably. Yeah. I mean, is it better when you grow into the game and finish better, I suppose?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to play a game that, of 2 halves like that, you want to play better in the second half, because at least you go away with something to grab hold of and believe you can reproduce that. We didn't want to reproduce the first half, which we didn't. Like I said, the words that were in there were calm, collected, some truths. And I told them they've got 10 minutes to sort it out, but in that 10-15 minutes after the half, I can't remember them going in our half, never mind in our box. I mean, had it been a boxing match, it would have been stopped. I mean, I think Phil would say the same thing. They won the first half comprehensively, and we won the second half comprehensively.
Perhaps a draw, a fair result?
Yeah, probably. And, I don't want to sit back and have a draw. I wanted to go and get the winner. And for us to have conceded from 3 set pieces is obviously a concern. But to score from 2 set pieces is also a positive. So every negative there's a positive. And I won't throw me rattle out the buggy yet. I'm really pleased with the group I've got. I thought to a man they responded fantastically well, and you've got to do that. If you're flying high like they were in the first half, Phil would have said to them he wants to go and replicate what they did, and that's very difficult. That's because we did what we did. So yeah, look, by the second that I'm grasping to you or goggling onto you, I'm probably going to go back on the bus and think, we weren't as bad as I thought we were, but we weren't very good in the first half.
Well, you do always say, don't you, that you want your teams to score goals. 2 today is good, but when you're conceding 3 up the other end, that's not ideal,
Listen,
is it?
2 goals away from home, you've got to take something from the game. All we've taken is a busted nose and looks like a concussion to young Ben Jackson, bless him. And I just said, taking a point would have made it been worth it, but he's a bit better looking now anyway. Proper centre halves do have their noses bust now and again, but we've got to look after him because he's took a real whack and his face is almost caved in there. So again, the curse of our centre halves strikes again, but that'll give somebody else an opportunity. Yeah,
Will coming in, I guess he's maybe a bit too early for him for 90 minutes perhaps, but good to get him out there.
Yeah, I mean, he joined us late on in pre-season, having had a couple of weeks not doing anything after being with the PFA course. So yeah, we got to manage him correctly. I think what you saw of him was an epitome of him. He's a bloke and he organises people. He organised people around him and in front of him, and he doesn't mind the physicality of it. So look, I think he'll be a great addition. We've got to, like I said though, we've got to look after him a little bit, and Ryan Hill, who's had a tendinitis problem. But I was delighted with my box from midfield. I was delighted the way we just put our foot on the floor and put our foot to the metal second half, and just stopped what were a very good side in the first half from being anything like a threat until that lapse. The fact it's bounced in my box perplexes me. I can't understand how that can happen, but we'll look at the footage and we'll pick the bones out of it. But we've got to dust ourselves down and hopefully, I know it's not a league game, but our first game at the EBB for a long time on Tuesday night and then again on Saturday, and we've got to, like I said, get back on a horse.